this is the Film Spark podcast. This week I come to you with my personal top 10 films of 1992, and will continue to do such for each year of the 90s and an overall faves of the decade at the end. Shout out to Cody Leach here on YouTube, whose Back to the 80s series inspired this idea. With that being said, let's get this started. And I think it's a given that there are spoilers ahead. Coming to you at number 10 is School Ties. School Ties is a 1992 American drama film directed by Robert Mandel and starring Brendan Fraser, Matt Damon, Chris O'Donnell, Randall Batinkoff, Andrew Lowry, Cole Hauser, Ben Affleck, and Anthony Rapp. Fraser plays the lead role as David Green, a Jewish high school student who was awarded an athletic scholarship to an elite preparatory school in his senior year. The film touches strongly on racism in such a way that really hits home to the viewer. The story really holds the viewer's attention as you get to know who David Green is as a person. When everyone finds out he is Jewish, he suddenly becomes no more than dirt in everyone's eyes. The movie really hits mark at pulling on the heartstrings and shedding light on a cruel thing that is very real in the world today. Number 9 is Man Bites Dog. Man Bites Dog is a French-language, Belgian, black comedy crime mockumentary film. The film follows a crew of filmmakers following a serial killer, recording his horrific crimes for a documentary they are producing. At first, dispassionate observers, they find themselves increasingly caught up in the chaotic and nihilistic violence, eventually becoming accomplices. Eating into number 8 is Single White Female. Single White Female is an American psychological erotic thriller film based on John Lutz's 1990 novel SWF Seeks Same. It stars Bridget Fonda and Jennifer Jason Leigh and was directed by Barbet Schroeder. Recently estranged Alison Jones, played by Fonda, begins to rent an apartment room from Hedrick Hulson, played by Leigh. After she reconciles with her ex-boyfriend, she finds strange patterns of behavior from her tenant. Sliding into number 7 is My Cousin Vinny. My Cousin Vinny is an American comedy film. Starring Macchio and Whitfield, who play William Gambini and Stanley Rothenstein, two young New Yorkers who are arrested in Alabama and put on trial for a murder they did not commit. Unable to afford a lawyer, they are defended by Gambini's cousin Vinny Gambini, played by Pesci, newly admitted to the bar, who arrives with his fiancée Mona Lisa Vito. The clash between the brash Italian-American New Yorkers and the more reserved Southern townspeople provide much of the film's humour. The principal location of filming was Monticello in Georgia. Coming in at number 6 is Bram Stoker's Dracula. Bram Stoker's Dracula, an American horror film directed and produced by Francis Ford Coppola. This version of Dracula is loosely based on Bram Stoker's classic novel. Young barrister Jonathan Harker is assigned to a gloomy village in the midst of Eastern Europe. He is captured and imprisoned by the undead vampire Dracula, who travels to London inspired by a photograph of Harker's betrothed, Mina Murray. In Britain, Dracula begins a reign of seduction and terror, draining the life from Mina's closet friend, Lucy Westenra. Lucy's friends gather together to try and drive Dracula away. Halfway there and coming in at number 5, we have Death Becomes Her. Death Becomes Her is a 1992 American satirical black comedy fantasy film directed and produced by Robert Zemeckis. When a novelist loses her man to a movie star and former friend, she winds up in a psychiatric hospital. Years later, she returns home to confront the now married couple looking radiant. Her ex-husband's new wife wants to know her secret and discovers that she has been taking a mysterious drug which grants eternal life to the person who drinks it. The actress follows suit but discovers that immortality has a price. Number Fantastic 4 is Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs is an American neo-noir crime film written and directed by Quentin Tarantino in his feature-length debut. Six thugs who are strangers to each other are hired by a crime boss, Joe Cabot, to carry out a diamond robbery. Right at the outset, they are given false names with the intention that they won't get too close and will concentrate on the job instead. They are completely sure that the robbery is going to be a success. But when the police show up right at the time and the site of the robbery, panic spreads amongst the group members and two of them are killed in the subsequent shootout, along with a few policemen and civilians. When the remaining people assemble at the premeditated rendezvous point, which is a warehouse, they begin to suspect that one of them is an undercover cop. Sliding into bronze with number 3, we have Porco Rosso. Porco Rosso is a Japanese animated adventure fantasy film written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki. It is based on the Hikitaijirei, or The Age of the Flying Boat, a 3-part 1989 watercolor manga by Miyazaki himself. In early 1930s era Italy, air pirates, bounty hunters, and high flyers of all sorts rule the skies. The most cunning and skilled of these pilots is Porco Rosso. A former ace, he now makes a living flying contract jobs such as rescuing those kidnapped by air pirates. Donald Curtis, Porco's rival, is in the air and in catching the affections of women, provides a constant challenge to the hero, culminating in a hilarious action-packed finale. Taking the silver spot is Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness, an American dark fantasy horror comedy film directed, co-written and co-edited by Sam Raimi, is the film's third installment in the Evil Dead film series and the sequel to Evil Dead 2. As the unfathomable tentacles of evil spread across time and space, Ash finds himself whisked off to another dimension, right after the supernatural events of Evil Dead 2. Now trapped in the distant Middle Ages, circa 1300 AD, battle-scarred Ash must fight tooth and nail against the same old adversary he confronted in Evil Dead. However, this time he is neck-deep in trouble. Not one, not two demons, but the entire Army of Darkness is after Ash, thirsting for his soul. And once more, there is no turning back. Can the guy with the chainsaw and the 12-gauge double-barreled shotgun blast evil to smithereens and save both worlds from the curse of the mystical Necronomicon? Well, ladies and gents, we've done it, and taking the gold position is Wayne's World. Wayne's World is a 1992 comedy film directed by Penelope Spheris. It was produced by Lorne Michaels and written by Mike Myers and Bonnie and Terry Turner. Based on the Saturday Night Live sketch Wayne's World, it stars Myers in his feature film debut as Wayne Campbell and Dana Carvey as Garth Elgar, a pair of rock and heavy metal fans who broadcast a public access television show. Wayne is still living at home. He has a world-class collection of name tags from jobs he's tried, but he does have his own public access TV show. A local station decides to hire him and his sidekick Garth to do their show professionally, and Wayne and Garth find that it is no longer the same. Wayne falls for a bass guitarist and uses his and Garth's video contacts to help her career along, knowing that Ben Oliver, the sleazy advertising guy who is ruining the show, will probably take her away from him if they fail. Well, that's it. We've come to the end of 1992. I hope you've enjoyed the second installment of this fun little series and stick around for the remainder of the decade in upcoming episodes. My name is Ebony, this is the Film Spark Podcast, and thank you for watching.